My parents always favored my sister, so I moved out of town. 6 months later, they found out where I was and begged me to come home. I refused because of what I discovered that day. I'm 22 and my sister just turned 18. The favoritism started early. For my 16th birthday, I got a $30 gift card to Target. For hers, they bought her a brand new Honda Civic. When I asked why, my dad said she earned it with her 4.0 GPA. I had a 3.7, but apparently that wasn't good enough. They paid for her SAT prep classes, $2,000 worth. When I asked for help with mine, they told me to use Khan Academy for free. She got into her dream school with a full ride from them for housing. I worked 35 hours a week at Starbucks to afford community college. Every family vacation was planned around her schedule. Her soccer tournaments, her debate competitions, her college visits. I missed my own high school graduation party because we had to drive 8 hours to tour her top choice university. I stayed quiet for years thinking maybe I was being dramatic. Then last November, I just couldn't take it anymore. I had $3,000 saved up, packed 2 suitcases, and drove 3 states away to Colorado. Didn't tell anyone where I was going. I changed my phone number, deleted social media, started fresh. Got a job at a marketing firm making $42,000 a year. Started seeing a therapist every Tuesday. For the first time in my life, I felt like I could actually breathe. 6 months of peace. That's all I got. Then my sister found me on LinkedIn. I'd made an account for work and forgot to make it private. 3 days later, she sent me a message saying Mom and Dad really missed me and wanted to talk. I ignored it. But the next week on a Thursday morning, there was a knock on my apartment door at 7 a.m. Both of them standing there with Starbucks coffees and grocery bags. My mom immediately started crying. She hugged me and kept saying, "We're so sorry. We didn't realize how badly we hurt you." My dad stood there looking uncomfortable and said, "We drove 14 hours to see you. Can we at least come in and talk?" I let them in. Biggest mistake. They sat on my couch for 3 hours. My mom cried through most of it, talking about how empty the house felt without me, how they realized they'd made mistakes and wanted to make it right. My dad kept saying family is family and we needed to move past this. He even offered to help me transfer to a university in their state, said they'd cover my tuition, get me an apartment near them, the whole thing. Everything I'd wanted growing up suddenly offered on a silver platter. I almost believed him. I actually started crying and thought maybe things could be different. They left that afternoon saying they'd give me a few days to think about it. My mom hugged me for a full minute at the door. My dad slipped me a check for $500 and said, "For groceries or whatever you need." That night, my sister called me at 11 p.m. She was clearly drunk, her words were slurred, and she kept apologizing. I asked her what was wrong. That's when everything came out. She said she felt terrible about what Mom and Dad were doing. She kept saying, "It's not right, it's not fair to you." I asked her what she meant. She went quiet for a second, then said they told me I had to find you on social media. They've been planning this for 2 months. My stomach dropped. I asked her why they needed to find me so badly. She started crying and said Grandma Rose left you her house, the one in Vermont. They've been trying to contest the will, but the lawyer said it's ironclad. The only way they can get it is if you voluntarily sign it over to them. $400,000. That's what the house was worth. My grandmother, who I visited every summer growing up, who taught me to paint, who actually listened to me, she left it to me in her will and died 7 months ago. I asked my sister how long she'd known. She said since the reading of the will in January. 4 months they'd been lying, searching for me, planning this whole reconciliation act. My dad had practiced his speech in their car for the entire 14-hour drive. My mom had timed her crying. The coffee, the groceries, the $500 check, the tuition offer, all of it was to manipulate me into signing paperwork. I hung up on my sister. She tried calling back 6 times, but I didn't answer. The next morning my parents called. My dad's voice was different, colder. He said we need to discuss your grandmother's estate. I told him I already knew everything. He tried to backtrack, saying it wasn't like that. They genuinely wanted to reconnect. I asked him if he'd practice that line too. My mom got on the phone and said I was being cruel, and that after everything they'd done for me, this is how I repaid them. I reminded her she bought my sister a car and gave me a Target gift card. She hung up. My sister texted me an hour later saying she was sorry and that she tried to tell them it was wrong. I believe her, but I didn't respond. I called my grandmother's lawyer that afternoon. He confirmed everything. The house was mine, the will was valid, and my parents had been pressuring him for months to find loopholes. I told him I'd see my parents in court. They kept trying to contest it. He said that wouldn't be necessary since the will was clear. Some families aren't worth keeping. I'm selling the house and using the money to finish my degree debt-free, something they never wanted to help me do until it benefited them.